My bad about that, guys. I don't know what's going on. But today, guys, we're gonna talk about starts and sits for week 5. So make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel on the way in. So I'm gonna talk about 12 guys. Guys, as you come in, hit the like button. So the first guy I want to talk about that I believe is a start that you should be starting tomorrow. It's going to be Antonio Gibson. Yes, Antonio Gibson. The reason why, guys, I'm high on Antonio Gibson, Ramondre Stevenson has been fumbling. He hasn't been playing really well. So I believe Antonio Gibson is you're gonna be able to start him on spot weeks. I don't think he's gonna be a starter for you every single week. Put him in. Ramondre Stevenson is the backup. I don't think it's gonna happen. But I do think this week he could have a couple goal line touches over Ramondre Stevenson. I like him better than Ramondre Stevenson this week. But Ramondre could take this job back later on in the year, so be careful with that. I see you, user. Just me today. Just me today. What's going on? Right, I like that. If you got the chance. User said, I'm trying to buy low on Stevenson. Yes, that's a good idea. I see you, Arambi. Okay. So, yes, guys, let's move on. The next guy I want to talk about is going to be Braylon Allen. Now, Breach, I call him Breach, he will have a starting, he's the starting running back. But Braylon is outplaying him on a per carry basis. If you go to PFF, they talking about Braylon Allen breaking more tackles, being more efficient than Breach Hall. Now, Breach Hall is still solid. I think you should go and try to trade him away. I don't make trade away videos because I like to talk from glass half full, not glass half empty. So I like to go and buy low on guys, not guys that I'm looking to trade. But but Breach is a trade target. You should trade him away. I traded him away early and got Alvin Kamara. So if you could get Alvin Kamara, I think that'll be a good move. So yes, Braylon Allen, I think you can start him as a flex play, especially if you got Saquon Barkley out and you need somebody just to start for your team. Tyrone Tracy's not out there. Rico Dowdle's not out there. Austin Eckler's not out there. You can go and start Braylon Allen, and I feel good about that. Got a super chat in the building from Ricky Bob. He says, what up, bro? Jordan Love or Mahomes? Jordan Love all day. Jordan Love all day. All right. Let's move on to my next guy. My next guy is going to be Tyreek Hill. Yes, Tyreek Hill. And the reason why, guys, I like Tyreek Hill, I believe you have to start him every single week while Tua is trying to get healthy and come back for this team with the concussion. The reason why, man, they're going to draw up players for Tyreek Hill. So if you got him, I wouldn't bench him unless I got a bunch of great wide receivers on my team. Me, I would put him in the flex and find some other guys to play and just lower your expectations for Tyreek Hill and what he's going to do, but start him. Now, if you have a great team, you don't got to. That's fine. You don't have to start Tyreek. You can sit Tyreek, A-Chain, and Waddle. You can sit those guys. But me, I'm starting Tyreek Hill. So I just want to let y'all know, you should have the mind focus of, hey, I'm starting Tyreek. I don't care what his output is. The rest of my wide receivers are going to help me overcome starting him, even if he only give me 5 or 6 points. Let's see here. All right, let's move on to my next guy. My next guy is one of my starts of the week, and it's going to be Wan'Dale Robinson. Yes, guys, Wan'Dale Robinson. Make sure you start Wan'Dale Robinson. The reason why you should be starting Wan'Dale Robinson, guys, there's no Malik Neighbors. So he has somebody to throw to. So, Daniel Jones needs somebody to throw the ball to. So Darius Slayton, I think, is a nice deep sleeper that you can play this week. Tyrone Tracy and Wan'Dale Robinson. So I like Wan'Dale Robinson. I think you should be putting him in as a flex or a wide receiver too. I think he's going to give you good output. He's been averaging about 8 to 10 targets a game for the last 3 weeks. Play Wan'Dale Robinson. My next guy that I want to talk about is going to be Tyrone Tracy. Yes, Tyrone Tracy. The reason why you should be starting Tyrone Tracy, guys, Devin Singletary is out. He's missing this week. Now, Tyrone Tracy is not going to get 100% of the workload, but he's going to get some honey touches. When he gets down to the goal line, because he's the starter, he will get a target, or he will get a carry, and he will get targets in the green zone. So I'm starting Tyrone Tracy wherever I can put him in my lineup as a flex play, spot start, whatever you need him for. I think he's better than some of the other running backs that you can be picking up off waivers trying to play like backup guys. Got another super chat from Ricky Bobby in the house. Ricky Bobby says, I have Jordan Mason trade for CMC. No. Leave CMC alone. Just go ahead and play Jordan Mason, bruh. The value with CMC is going to be tricky. If you can get CMC for if you have Ramondre Stevenson and you can give up Ramondre Stevenson for CMC, I'm just using an example. Yes, I would do that, but I'm not trying to trade Jordan Mason while he still got the sauce, right? Pause. Jordan Mason right now is a top 5 running back. I'm going to ride that all the way out. Pause. So, let me see. Okay, there we go. So, yes, both his legs is hurt. User 279. Facts. All right, let's move on, guys. I got a couple more guys, and then I'm going to get to everybody comments in the comment section. The next person I want to talk about is going to be Rico Dowdle. Rico Dowdle. And the reason why, guys, I like Rico Dowdle is he's the only running back from Dallas that looks like they can do anything. Deuce Vaughn is too small. Zeke is older. He's not having any type of boom plays. Rico is the only guy that's doing anything for that team. So he's going to get a nice role. He's going to get 15 touches. So I'm starting Rico Dowdle, even though it's a tough matchup against the Pittsburgh Steelers. You have to stop CeeDee Lamb and that. So I believe Rico is kind of going to be, well, make Rico beat him. So I believe Rico could get some nice run lanes against this tough Pittsburgh defense. So I love Rico. Moving on, guys, to another wide receiver that I like. It's going to be Jordan Addison. Jordan Addison. The reason why, guys, I like Jordan Addison, I believe he's going to be going against number 2 corners. Number 2 corners. No number 2 corner is going to be to stop Jordan Addison. Now, they are playing the Jets. It is a tough matchup, but Sauce Gardner is going to be on JJ. That second corner is not going to be to stop Jordan Addison. I think Jordan Addison is going to have a touchdown. If you do props bets, I think Jordan Addison is a great bet to put up for anytime touchdown. So I love Jordan Addison. All right, let's move on to another guy. It's Xavier Leggett. Xavier Leggett. Guys, start him. There's no Adam Thielen for 4 weeks. This is going on 3 weeks now. So it's only going to be Deontay Johnson and Xavier Leggett. Andy Dalton will be able to get this guy targets. I love Xavier Leggett as a flex play. Spot start. Going on to another wide receiver that I like is going to be Tutu Atwell. Now, I just seen my homeboy Aaron Holloway says, what do you think about Jordan Whittington? I like Jordan Whittington. He's getting targets, but I like Tutu a little bit better. I'm not leaving Jordan Whittington on the waivers, but I am playing Tutu over him if I had to make that choice. So if I got Jordan Whittington and if I got Tutu, I'm playing Tutu. That's just me. Jordan Whittington is a guy who's, he's a pretty good wide receiver as a young rookie guy. But I like Tutu better. I think it's more of a rapport with Matthew Stafford and Tutu Atwell. So I'm playing Tutu as a flex play. A lot of these are flex plays. These are guys that I know a lot of us are like, should we play them? I don't want to talk about Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, all those guys. We know to start those guys. But it's guys like Tutu, Jordan Whittington. What do we do? Xavier Leggett, Jordan Addison. Most leagues, you should be starting him. See. The next guy I want to talk about is going to be Trey Tucker. Trey Tucker, guys, from the Las Vegas Raiders. And the reason why I like Trey Tucker, There's no other wide receivers. They're going to trade Devontae Adams. And I told y'all that last week when they said that Devontae Adams had a hamstring injury. I know that was bullcrap. But Trey Tucker, guys, is a guy that I think can probably be a top 24 wide receiver going forward. There's no other weapons. Him and Jacoby Myers and Brock Bowers. Those are only three guys that's getting passing targets on this team. So, yes, I love Trey Tucker. I'm starting him in a lot of leagues. I'm actually starting him over Devon A-Chain in the league just because I don't like the Miami and I like the way Trey Tucker's been playing, so I benched Devon A-Chain. I'm not telling y'all to bench Devon A-Chain, but I'm telling you that Trey Tucker needs to be in your lineup. He needs to be in your lineup. Okay. And we got two more guys. The next guy I want to talk about is going to be Courtland Sutton. Courtland Sutton is a star, guys. Star Courtland Sutton. Wide receiver 3 flex play. He's the only wide receiver to me that got any type of cachet on the Denver Broncos. Bo Nix is not really looking for no tight end, no running back. It's like Courtland Sutton or nobody else. So I love Courtland Sutton. That's why I've been stashing him the whole season. And I think his role is only going to get better. This is a young team with Bo Nix, so you have to give it a little bit of time. That's why I told y'all not to just drop guys just because they didn't perform early. Torrey Franklin is another stash, but that's way out there. But I believe he's going to get more targets as the season goes on, too. But I love Courtland Sutton. I'm starting him in a couple of leagues. Excuse me. And last but not least is going to be Trey Sermon from the Indianapolis Colts. Hey, you got Jonathan Taylor out. You got Anthony Richardson out. I think Trey Sermon is going to have some goal line touches. I don't think he's going to break a 40-yard run, but just the fall-in touchdown. When they get down to the goal line, they're going to give it to Trey Sermon. That's the only reason why I'm playing him. I got him in a couple leagues. I'm not playing him because I think he's a great athlete. I'm not playing him because I think he's going to boom. I think he's a starting running back on the team that moves the ball really well when Joe Flacco play. So I'm putting him in for a fall-in touchdown. Just that simple. I'm not going to overthink it. Now, I'm not putting him in over none of my studs. He should not be playing over none of your studs. But you get down to that second tier, backup guys. You got some of these Washington Commander guys. Like, you got Austin Eckler, Trey Sermon. You got Tyrone Tracy. You got those type of guys in that type of tier. I think Trey Sermon can start with any of those guys in that tier. But I'm not going to put him in over Alvin Kamara. And I'm pretty sure y'all know that, but Alvin Kamara and none of those guys. All right, let's get to some of these questions. Appreciate everybody being here. Let's see here. Okay. User 279, he said, what's good, guys? He said, I'm trying to buy low on Stevenson. Yeah, man, I think Stevenson is a nice buy low, but you got to have a really good team to weather the storm with him. I like Stevenson, but I think it's going to be slow. He's not going to really have a lot of great matchups. I like him. I'm not getting rid of him. I would trade him if I could get somebody good, but I'm not trading him for no Raheem Mostert or anybody like that. I'm just going to hold on to him. Hopefully I can pick up Antonio Gibson, but I think he is a nice buy low. Tron said, what's up, Teddy? What's up, Tron? User 277 says, I'm going down with the B. John ship. Right. It's no, what you going to trade him to? Like, what you going to do with him? He says, I'm going down with the B. John ship. I know it's going to get colder, and they're going to use him more, and I'm not trading him. Facts. Facts. Strop City with the super chat. Appreciate that, bro. He says, thoughts on Dobbs' situation. Think he could be target for the Chiefs? Yeah, but I think the Chiefs want something better. I mean, if I want to see what's going on with Rashee Rice. If Rashee Rice is out for the season, then yeah, they gotta have another body, and they might go for Romeo Doubs. He's a second-round pick. He don't have a lot on his contract, so it does make sense to me. I think Romeo Doubs is solid, but he's not an upper echelon wide receiver. I think I think they would want Christian Watson over Romeo Doubs. Now, Christian Watson is not the guy that's mad and wants to be traded, but I don't think Romeo Doubs has the upper echelon wide receiver ability for a team to want to trade for it. They traded for Kadarius Toney. Why? Because he's a great athlete. It wasn't that he was smart or anything. They didn't need that type of guy. They wanted somebody who could beat corners one-on-one. I don't know if Romeo Doubs is the guy like that, but could he be another body to keep them safe? He could be. I'm not that high on Romeo Doubs, and I don't think he should be handling the situation like that. But who am I to tell? I'm not in his pockets. If he don't like what's going on and he wants to go to another team, I'm fine with that. I'm not going to be the guy to tell him what he should or shouldn't be doing. I'm just not big into that. But my prerogative, my mind, I would just be mad. I wouldn't talk to anybody. If the media came out, I would let them know. I think I'm better than. I think I should be getting more targets. I don't think I'm getting enough targets here. I'm a little disappointed, but we have a great team. I'm a team player. That's what I would have done, but that's just me. That doesn't got anything to do with him. So that's how I feel about that situation. Hold on, guys. Let me see something. Okay, there we go. All right. Let's see. Let me go through some of these other chats. Justin Vetta, what's up, Justin? Justin says, "What up, bro? I in a jam, PPR, Tracy or Akers? Thanks." I'm going with Tracy. I think Tracy's going to catch more passes than Akers. I don't think Akers is explosive enough in the passing game. But he could have a fall-in touchdown. I think he's a better runner between the tackles than maybe Tracy, but I don't think he's going to catch more passes. I can see Tracy catching 5 or 6 passes tomorrow. So I'm gonna put Tracy over Akers. I'm gonna put Tracy over Akers. Let's see. Harambe said, "Double tap the screen. Let's get the likes up, fellas. Appreciate that, Harambe." Shade says Madison or Waddle. Where that's ugly. I'm gonna have to go with Madison, but that's ugly. But yeah, you got to go with Madison over Waddle. Waddle ain't doing anything in standard leagues, so I'm gonna say Madison over Waddle. Say says you going to the next Diddy with that Diddy. I don't know why they be bringing up Diddy in this chat. Oh, okay, there we go. User 2 said it. I said you could. Excuse me. He said you could try to get A Chain too. Let me see who he talking about. Yeah, as far as buying low on, right? You can buy low on A Chain if that's what you mean. Yes, I do think A Chain is a buy low. I do think A Chain is a buy low. Bo with the super chat, appreciate that. Bo says Wandale or Tracy PPR. I'm going with Wandale Robinson. The reason why over Tracy is the PPR. There's no other wide receiver that can be trusted. Wandale's been getting I think Wandale got like 24 targets in the last 3 games. I can't bench that over Tyrone Tracy. I like Tyrone Tracy to have some like 4 or 5 catches, maybe 60 yards rushing, maybe a fall-in touchdowns for the best. But Wandale gonna get 8, 9 catches, 70, 80 yards. That's easy. He's nobody else guarding him. Seattle defense is good. It's not that good. It's not good enough to me to shut down Wandale all the way. Wandale don't need a touchdown. He's a PPR machine. Expect him at least get 8 catches and 4 PPR. So I'm gonna go with Wandale slightly over Tracy, Bo. Appreciate that super chat, bruh. User 2 said so Jacoby Myers is going to be good, be a good flex. Yes, he's a solid flex. I like Trey Tucker a little bit better because of the boom. I think Trey Tucker can score more touchdowns. Loud. ENT says Pittman or DJ Moore. Also Stevenson or Sermon. I'm going with Sermon over Stevenson with Antonio Gibson getting more of a role. And I'm going to go with Pittman over DJ Moore because of Joe Flacco. So I'm going to go with Pittman over DJ Moore, and I'm going to go with Sermon over Stevenson. User 279 says, Ricky, I don't think CMC coming back this year. I don't think so either. Tron says, with Barkley and Monty on his bye, need 2 RBs for this week. PPR, Braylon Allen, Madison Mostert, Emmanuel Wilson, Trey Sermon. I'm going to go with Trey Sermon and Braylon Allen. Trey Sermon and Braylon Allen. Appreciate you, Tron. It's Brody says, yo, hope you're doing well. Once healthy, who do you think will be better wide receiver, Cooper Kupp or Puka? It could really go either way. I think Puka's going to be better. I can't trust Cooper Kupp ankles. He's had ankle problems, the last 2 years? He's had to have surgery. I'm going with Puka, the young stud. Puka over Cooper. Aiden J said, what's goody in the hoodie? What's good, bruh? What's good, Aiden? Appreciate you being here. MVM says, pick 2, Wicks, Downs, Pickens, or Worthy. I'm going with Josh Downs and Dontavius Wicks. I love Worthy. I think Worthy going to have a good game, but Wicks with Christian Watson and Romeo being out, Wicks going to eat. Downs is going to eat because of Joe Flacco, slot guy. I don't know if A.D. Mitchell and the tight ends are going to take enough targets to hurt Downs. I don't think so. So I'm going with Downs and Wicks over Pickens and Worthy. Bo with a super chat. Appreciate this, Bo. He says Tracy or B. Rob Jr. PPR. Is Tracy Wandale too much together? No. Brian Robinson Jr., if he plays and he's healthy and he's not limited, play Brian Robinson Jr. over Tracy. But I'm not playing him over Tracy if he's limited. I don't want to play a limited running back. Also, Austin Eckler is back, so Austin Eckler will get a couple targets. They probably going to use Austin Eckler more just because of the B-Rob injury. I don't see nothing wrong with Tracy and Wandale playing against Seattle, especially with B. Robinson being hurt. If B. Robinson were healthy, I would tell you Wandale and B-Rob. But right now, I'm going to go with Tracy because of B-Rob injury. Unless it comes out and you got any news that says B-Rob is perfectly fine, then, yeah, play B-Rob. But right now, I'm going to say Tracy and Wandale. Great question, Bo. Terrell with the super chat. Appreciate that, Terrell. He says Higgins, Wicks, or Deontay, half-point PPR. I'm going... This is tough. I'm going to go Deontay, then Wicks, then Higgins. I'm going Deontay. Deontay is the number 1 on the Carolina Panthers. I'm going Deontay all day. Appreciate that, Terrell. Even a half-point PPR. I do think Higgins got some more touchdown upside than Deontay. Maybe even Wicks. But Deontay going to get 10 targets. And he's going to be getting green zone touches. So I'm going to go with Deontay Johnson. Okay. Aaron Holloway says, what do you think about Jordan Whittington? I just think, man, he's a good, solid player. I'd rather have Tutu, though, for the chemistry. I'd rather have Tutu for the chemistry. User says, I love starting Geno this week. Yes, Geno is a great start. I'm starting Geno every week. This team is passing the ball 45 to 50 times. That's all I need to know. With DK and Tyler Lockett and JSN and Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker, I'm starting those guys every week, except for, I'm not starting Charbonnet, but I'm starting Kenneth Walker every week, Geno every week, DK every week. Tyler Lockett and JSN and Charbonnet, it just depends on the matchup, what you think, the injuries and all that. But DK, Geno, and Kenneth Walker got to be started every week. Post game says, bro, Garrett Wilson or Wicks? I'm going with Wicks. And that's tough. I'm starting Garrett Wilson in a lot of leagues. I'm not benching him at all. I got him in like 2 leagues. I'm starting him. But Wicks got a great matchup with Romeo Doubs being out. That puts him slightly over Garrett in a vacuum. I don't think you should be benching Garrett, but I get what you're saying, and I want to give you the best play. Usually I'm going to tell you to play your stud. You should be playing Garrett Wilson. But Wicks, with everything that's going on, what he's done in the past, what he did last week, everything coming together. Harambe, what did Amen say? I see that you just blocked it. I'm sorry, post game. I gotta ask this. What did he say? Put in the chat what he said, Harambe. What did the guy say? Let me know what he said. He said down with Idris. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. Appreciate that, Harambe. Hey guys, you see anybody in here trolling, pure trolling, make sure you try to get my attention, because sometimes it's okay for them to troll if they doing it at a certain level. But if they come in here talking that P. Diddy stuff, get them out of here. Get them out of here. Right. Right. Appreciate that, Harambe. But yeah, post game, I would try to play. I want to play Garrett Wilson. You need to have Garrett Wilson's in your lineup. I'm not scared of the matchup. I love Wicks though. Wicks in a vacuum. Wicks is probably ranked as a top 12 by the consensus this week because of the opportunity, especially with Romeo Doubs not playing. And the way Jordan Love looked one. I like Jordan Love is a beast. He's a monster. Jordan Love is probably might be the #1 quarterback this year with all the stuff that's going on. Okay. Let's see here. Find my spot, guys. Find my spot. Okay. There we go. So Tron says if Njoku sits out, I think he's playing this week. If Njoku sits out, I may have to drop somewhere to pick up a tight end. Who would you rather drop out of Emmanuel Wilson or Raheem Mostert? It don't matter. Both of these guys I'm okay to drop, but I would say Emmanuel Wilson. You can go back and probably pick up Emmanuel Wilson. I would say drop Emmanuel Wilson. Yeah, let the guy in there. Let him, as long as he don't say nothing crazy. He all right. Rohit is all right. Dylan. He says Fields versus Dallas or Murray versus San Francisco. I'm going with Murray versus San Francisco. They say that that game could be muddy, so I'm gonna go with Murray versus San Francisco. Mike Shamhart, what's up, bruh? He says, "Gee, it's going to be 100 in Santa Clara. You think Purdy and Kyler Murray will handle the heat?" Yes. Yes. They practicing that type of heat all the time, especially Kyler Murray. He's from Texas, went to Arizona. Purdy been in San Francisco for a while. It's going to be fine. I'm starting Kyler. I'm starting Kyler Murray. I'm definitely starting Purdy. MD, what's up? He says, "Yo, what's up? In full PPR, I need 2 running backs, 1 wide receiver, 1 flex. So your 2 running backs is gonna be Tracy Jr. and Javonte. Your 1 wide receiver is gonna be DJ Moore. And your one flex is going to be, I guess I go with Keon Coleman slightly over Ramondre Stevenson. So I would play Javonte, Tracy Jr., Ramondre. No Ramondre. I'm sorry. Javonte Williams, Tracy Jr., DJ Moore, and Keon Coleman. Keon Coleman over Ramondre. Dub Nation says Jawan Johnson, Noah Fant, or Eric All. I'm going with Jawan Johnson. I'm going with Jawan Johnson over Noah Fant and Eric All. KL says Garrett Wilson, Dontavius Wick, JSN pick 2 to start. Garrett Wilson and Dontavius Wicks. I love those two guys. Start both of them. Harami says, you think Bucky can be flex worthy the rest of the season? Yes, I do. I really think he's good. Needs more touches. Fumbles kills though. Yeah, man, fumbles, you got to keep guys going. Look what Andy Reid is really, really good. And then Carson Steele, he keep fumbling, keep fumbling, keep fumbling. But sometimes you just got to give guys, you got to let that get out of their system. Adrian Peterson had like 10 fumbles in 1 year. You got to let them get that out of their system and keep working with them if they can play. Bucky can play. So to me, I think he's flex worthy. As long as you don't see anything going on funny or Rashad White getting more carries, I think he's flex worthy every week. Especially if you went 0 RB, you don't have a better running back. Mike Locke says Odunze for Shaheed for PPR. I get Shaheed. Yes, go with Shaheed. Shaheed over Odunze. I like Odunze. Odunze gonna be good. He's a great jump ball wide receiver, but I think Shaheed is better for fantasy. I think he has the boom. I think they need him for the New Orleans Saints to push the safeties back. He's the big play guy. Cameron Austin says, should I start Brian Thomas Jr., Tyreek Hill, or Jordan Addison? All those guys are starts, but I'm going to rank them for you. Brian Thomas Jr., Jordan Addison, and Tyreek Hill. Out of those three, it's tough, man. It's very, very tough. I'll probably go with Brian Thomas slightly over Addison. Brian Thomas Jr. slightly over Addison. Dub Nation says need 2. ETN, Ramondre Stevenson, James Conner, Terry McLaurin, or Ford. I'm going with James Conner and Terry McLaurin. James Conner and Terry McLaurin over ETN and Ford. So, yes, start James Conner and Terry McLaurin. Mike says, I get Odunze. No, don't. I think you should. I like the Shaheed side better, Mike. A-Gang Grizzle said, what's good, TD? Who you like out of Tyreek, Shaheed, Jerome Ford, and JSN need 2? I would play Tyreek and Shaheed. Tyreek and Shaheed. I would play Tyreek and Shaheed. Dub Nation says Zach Moss or Ramondre Stevenson. I would go with. Let me see here. I think I'm gonna go with Zach Moss, but let me make sure. I can't place. It's rough for me to play Ramondre Stevenson no more. I like the matchup, but I'm nervous about Antonio Gibson. I don't think they want to give Ramondre the touchdown this week. I think next week he'll have a chance to get his role back. I don't think this week they're going to do it. I think they're going to give every chance for Antonio Gibson. So it's tough, man. Bengals got a tough, the Baltimore Ravens defense, man, is like holding everybody to like 2 yards a carry. I might have to go with Ramondre over Zach Moss because that defense against the Ravens, man, they're the number 1 run defense in the NFL. So I think there's going to be a lot of passing. I think Chase Brown's going to catch a lot of passes out the backfield, And I think he's going to have a better game than Zach Moss going against the Baltimore Ravens. He's the better matchup against the Baltimore Ravens than Zach Moss. So I'm going to go with Ramondre Stevenson slightly over Zach Moss. Both of them is kind of ugly, but I will go with Ramondre. Let's see here. MVM says, should I drop downs for Tutu or Sutton? No. Hold on to downs. Over Tutu and Sutton. Johnny Claps with the super chat. Appreciate that, Johnny. Johnny says, give Ramondre for AR5 and Rachaad White. I got Stroud right now. If you got Stroud to get off, I see you. So you're trying to get off Ramondre. So you're going to have two quarterbacks, Stroud and AR5 and Rachaad White. I say no. I say go after somebody else. Give Ramondre to somebody else. Now, if that's the only player that you can get for Ramondre is AR5 and Rachaad White, it's okay. But I think you can get somebody better. I don't think you need a quarterback like AR5 when you have Stroud. Stroud is going to be your boom guy. You don't really need another quarterback if it's single quarterback league. So I'm pretty sure this is single quarterback league. I would say hold on to I will hold on for Ramondre in this instance. Maybe go for another player or another trade. Appreciate that, Johnny. All right. Eric B said, what's good? Roschon, Waddle, Mike Williams, or Mike Wilson? Pick one for flex or on full PPR, please. Woo. If Trey McBride doesn't play, I like Michael Wilson. But if Trey McBride doesn't play, if Trey McBride does play, I don't like Mike Wilson. I'm gonna say Roschon over Waddle, Mike Williams, and Mike Wilson. I'm gonna go with Roschon in full PPR. I'm going with Roschon. What happened is says full PPR, Flex Worthy or Addison? Addison. Flex Addison over Worthy. Ed Tay says T Hill from Miami or Zay Flowers need one or JSN. I'm going with Zay Flowers over JSN and T Hill. Eric B says also Leggett or Keon Coleman. I'm going with Leggett over Keon Coleman for the flex. Is it safe to start Hunt at the flex? Yes. Hunt or answer to the first question. I would start Leggett over Hunt and Keon Coleman. I'm starting Leggett over Hunt and Keon Coleman in full PPR. Derek just says full PPR flex, Ford, Downs, or Ayuk, pick one. I'm going with Downs with Joe Flacco playing. So now, like, reason why I'm not saying Ayuk, he is a stud, but it's been 4 weeks. I don't know the situation of your team. I'm going to give you the guys who got the sauce. Josh Downs got the sauce when it comes to Joe Flacco. Ayuk, let's see it. Let's just see one game before we make him a star again. We know his draft capital. We know his contract for the San Francisco 49ers. But before we put him in as one of these top 12 wide receivers that you got to start every week, because that's the way we do it here at Fantasy Good Sports, he played bad for a quadrant. So I'm okay with benching him and going to a Downs who's trending up for this quadrant. But the last quadrant, Ayuk played garbage. So I would say Downs over Ford and Ayuk. I think Ayuk is a start in some situations, but not in this situation for what I can see. Another super chat in the building from Caleb Hamilton. What's up, bruh? He says full PPR, Ramondre, Keenan, Whittington, Waddle, and M. Willis. What does M. Willis mean, Caleb? Let me see here. I'm probably going with anytime, Eric B. Anytime. Uh, Let me see. I'm trying to see. I would probably go with Whittington over Keenan, Ramondre Waddle, and I think that's Malik Willis. I don't know who that is. Michael Wilson. Michael Wilson. Yeah, I'm probably going with Whittington over Waddle, Michael Wilson, Keenan, and Ramondre. I'm going with Whittington. Appreciate you, Caleb. Jay Bond says PPR, Trey Sermon, Whittington, or Jerome Ford. I'm going with Trey Sermon over Whittington and Jerome Ford. Back nine train says, should I pick up Gibson and drop McConkey? Don't drop McConkey, but pick up Gibson and start him. Don't drop McConkey. McConkey's not a drop. MD says, you watching UFC tonight? No, but bruh. I'm not really big into UFC. I'm not big into your UFC. Once I get off this live, bro, I'm gonna go turn on my earphones and listen to fantasy football podcasts all night. That's what I do. I love fantasy football. I love real football, and I just want to hear everybody's opinions, and it helps me form my opinion. I hear good information from other YouTubers all the time, stuff that I might have missed. Also through like Twitter and TikTok, the people release new stuff. So, but now I'm not gonna watch any UFC. Kale says, what to do with Ramondre Stevenson? Hold on to him or trade him for a player. Now, don't trade him for chopped liver. I always tell y'all, don't never trade good players like Ramondre. Ramondre was he was drafted in the first 5 rounds, so he's a decent player. I say hold on to him until you see a trade opportunity, or you might have to play him 1 week. I think it's a trade opportunity is coming soon. Like with all these running backs, some of these running backs hurt. Somebody gonna need Ramondre. Ramondre could get traded himself to another team by the time the trade deadline comes. So I would just hold on to him or look for a trade opportunity. Dirt Boy said, "What's good, bruh? Pick one, 2-2, Keon, Trey Tucker, Dunze Tobit, Trey Tucker, Trey Tucker." MD says, "Hot take, Roundtree knocking potent." Okay, so I don't know who those guys is. Must be an upset. Elisa, what's going on with you, Elisa? Elisa says, TD, I need help bad. Half PPR, Jacob or Hubbard or ETN or Brian Robinson Jr. I think I'm going with Josh Jacobs. Slightly over Chuba Hubbard. Brian Robinson Jr. is hurt. I would say Brian Robinson Jr. if he wasn't hurt. If he's full to go, the knee is no problem. Play him. ETN don't have a bad matchup either. Let me look at Jacobs' matchup real quick. I don't know. I'm gonna go with Josh Jacobs. Go with Josh Jacobs over Hubbard, ETN, and Brian Robinson Jr. Like I said, it would be Brian Robinson Jr., but he got hurt. I don't want to play him with a knee injury. ETN is good. He hasn't played well in a few weeks. Hubbard has been balling, but he got a real tough matchup. The Bears' defense is pretty good. So I'm going to go with Josh Jacobs. Charles says, I think Tyree has a big game tomorrow. He could, bruh. That's why I'm playing him in my leagues. But at this point in time, we can't keep putting him out there and he giving us 5 points and 10 points. And you got guys on your bench who can play. Derek says 4 PPR flex one, and pick one. Ford, Downs, and Ayuk. I'm going with Downs over Ayuk and Ford. Now listen, Ayuk, we know what Ayuk is. He's going to command a target share. I just can't put him over Josh Downs. I need to see a game from Ayuk. But Ayuk, I would not be surprised if Ayuk goes out for 20 points because we know Ayuk is one of those top 12 you plug and play every week. He hasn't been that for us this year. And after 4 games, that's a quadrant. I got to move on. I got to win games. So I got to go with the best play after you gave me 4 weeks of bad play. So at this point, I say we need to wait on Ayuk to show us one game that he can handle the workload again and he could be a top 12, and then we can start putting him back in. But right now, I'm going with Josh Downs. Big Orange Grill says start Allen Lazard or Chase Brown. Chase Brown. PPR, Kareem Hunt, Sermon, or Whittington. I'm going with Sermon. All right. Y'all know how it goes. I lose my spot. Okay, there we go. J Bond says pick PPR, Kareem Hunt, Sermon, or Whittington. Okay, we did that one. That's Sermon. My Wi-Fi says A-Chain is my flex this week. Is in my flex this week. No quarterback for the Fins. Been killing me, bro. I know. If you ain't got nobody else better, you just got to play him. If you got somebody better, bro, you got Antonio Gibson. You can put Antonio Gibson in over A-Chain this week because of what's going on with A-Chain. But you got to be careful. You can't get upset if A-Chain have a big play and give you 15 points. So it's up to you. You got to just keep putting them out there on auto or go ahead and get a better guy who got a better matchup. Lisa says, in another league, I lost JT and Cup and Rice. Standard, Connor or Hubbard or A-Chain. In standard, I'm going with Connor over Hubbard and A-Chain. I have JJ and I got Wicks off the waivers. Thank you. Yes. Start Wicks, start JJ. I know you starting JJ. Sharney Mack says, would you trade Kamara for Bijan? No, I think it's a lateral move. I know Kamara is playing better right now, but I think Bijan is going to be fine. If you got Kamara, why would you want to go get Bijan? Unless you're going to get another player with it. I say just hold on to Kamara. Hold on to Kamara. If you had Bijan, I wouldn't want you to necessarily trade for Kamara unless you was getting a 2-for-1 deal. Elisa says, have PPR, Deontay Johnson or Wicks. Already have JJ. Have PPR. I'm still going to go with Deontay Johnson slightly over Wicks, man. Deontay is the #1 for this team. He's getting 10 targets. I cannot tell anybody to sit there. Deontay is a must-start. Rohit said, I'm from India. Appreciate you being here, bro. J Bond says, PPR need one. Hunt, Sermon, or Whittington. I'm going with Sermon. Mike Shamhart says, what you think about Jacksonville defense or Pittsburgh defense versus Dallas? Woo, Saxonville. I can see Jacksonville defense because they're going against the Miami Dolphins. So I like that. Pittsburgh, I think I wouldn't play them this week because I think Dallas is going to do well against them. I think Dallas is going to put up 21 points. Dallas is a good team. They got CeeDee Lamb. They got Dak. These guys can they're usually putting up 21 points. Now, I know Pittsburgh defense is not top level. This is the top 5 defense. I don't know if I want to play against. I don't want to play any defense necessarily against the Cowboys unless I have to. If that's the only defense I have, then I'll roll them out there, and it's no big deal, and I don't care. But if I got to pick between like a lot of defenses, I necessarily wouldn't go to the waivers and go pick up Jacksonville and go and play them over Pittsburgh. That's not the way I play DST, but it's the better play. Jacksonville going against a backup quarterback who's came out of, like, he wasn't even on the team. I don't believe. I think he was on a practice squad. So Jacksonville got a great matchup, as in now, before Tyreek Hill scored a 50-yard touchdown. Jacksonville got the better matchup. Me, I would just hold on to my defense. That's how I play. I don't switch defenses. If I got a great defense and I like them, I'm going to play them every single week. Unless I'm in the playoffs and something's very obvious for me, then I might do it. But yeah, like I said last time, Jacksonville got the better matchup. What's going on, Charlene? That's Darnell Mooney right there. Guys, she been talking about Darnell Mooney in the offseason before they even started. I think he's the best wide receiver on that team. And Charlene was one of the first people that kept saying, hey, Darnell Mooney, sleeper, sleeper, sleeper. Big On Grid says Ford or Chase Brown. I'm going with Chase Brown. Lonely Beast says, nice haircut. It makes you look smarter. Laugh out loud. For real, the style fits you. Yeah, man, it's a bunch of styles that I can get. But guys, being able in my work schedule and being able to find somebody to do my hair and being able to come home at the right time to do things that I need to do is very tough. So I had these styles right now. I just got it up in the like I got a thing in the back to put it in the bun. And I know y'all, people be coming here trying to murder me, talking about my hairstyle look like a girl or whatever. Hey, when you got long hair, this is the best thing for. If not, it's all falling in your face and stuff. So that's why I put it back. But appreciate it, bro. Just want to explain to you, it was just something that I needed my hair to get done quickly. So that's why I got somebody to do it. But thank you. The glasses might also make me look smart. Lonely B says, Tyler Kraft, do you have him as a top 10 tight end this week? Yes. Yes, especially with the guys that's going to be out. Tyler Kraft is going to be getting some targets. He's overcame Luke Musgrave. I thought Luke Musgrave was going to be the guy. It's Tyler Kraft. Okay, yeah, Caleb says Michael Wilson. Yeah, not Michael Wilson. If Trey McBride is out, Michael Wilson moves into maybe a top 40 wide receiver. Right now, he's like top 60. But if Trey McBride is out, he will get a few more targets. Him and Greg Dortch. Another super chat in the building by Jamar Joseph. Appreciate that, bro. He says better stats, Leggett, Downs, McConkey, or Watson. That's a great question, bro. Woo-wee. You got some gas, guys. You got Leggett. He's balling. Leggett's he's coming out. He's ready to be like a top 24, top 32 wide receiver. Josh Downs is a top 24 wide receiver when Joe Flacco is playing. McConkey got a lot of upside. I think he's the best route runner on this team. And Christian Watson, when he comes back with Romeo Dobbs, I don't know what's going to be going on with Romeo. Maybe Romeo might put himself in the doghouse. There might be more targets for Christian Watson. Rest of the season, I'm going to go rest of the season, and I'm going to go this week. This week, I think Downs has a better game. I think rest of the season, I think it's Leggett. I like McConkey and Downs. Both of them kind of the same players. So I'm going to rank them. I'm going to say Leggett is a better stash. Then I'm going to go McConkey and Downs. And I'm going to put McConkey in front of Downs because AR is not out. So AR should be coming back next week, which will bring Downs' value down. So I'm going to say Leggett, McConkey, and Downs. Appreciate that, bro. Okay. Justine Garcia says, Superflex, I got Allen and Murray. Should I play Sermon, Hunt, or Dowdle in place of Murray? I got Allen and Murray. Should I play Sermon, Hunt, or Dowdle in place of Murray? Now, play Allen and Murray. Play Allen and Murray in Superflex. Don't play none of these running backs. I like Sermon, but you can't put him over Murray and Josh Allen. I like Hunt and Dowdle. So I would just play Allen and Murray, Justine. Louise says Josh Allen, Justin Fields, or Purdue. I don't know who Purdue is. Who is Purdue? Anybody know who Purdue is? I'm going with Josh Allen. Woo. Yeah, I'm going with Josh Allen over Justin Fields and Purdue. What's going on, Siobhan? Chris Vita says Downs, Deontay Johnson, or Brian Robinson. I'm going with Deontay Johnson slightly over Brian Robinson. I mean Brian Thomas. I'm sorry. Brian Thomas and Josh Downs. Purdy. Okay. Purdy. Thank you, Lonely B. Yeah, actually, I'm going with Purdy over Josh Allen and Justin Fields. Josh Allen has no Khalil Shakir. Tough matchup. I think the Texans gonna play them really hard. Pause. So I'm willing to go with Purdy over Fields and Josh Allen. So Louise Purdy. Chris, I'm going with Deontay Johnson slightly over Brian Thomas Jr. Caleb says, appreciate the insight like always, brother. Anytime, Caleb. My Wi-Fi says, yo, TD, will B. John repay draft value this year? I need that 30 point, 40 point. Keep cooking up, bro. Yes, sir. Yes. I do think B. John will return value. It might not be a top 5 value, but I do believe he will get a nice role for this team where he's giving you 15 to 20 points. If anything outside of that, I think you of course you would take it, but be okay with that because they don't want to run him into the ground. That's why Jahmyr Gibbs don't have a lot of 30, 40 point games. They don't want to use him too much. B. John is not going to get overused. So he's going to have games where he's going to catch more passes. And I think he's going to have some goal line touchdowns eventually. So I hold on to B. John, man, and just play him. I don't think you need to worry about him returning value. That's not how you look at it. I think you should know that B. John is talented, and I trust him, and I'm going to put him out there every week. Unless I want B. John to play better. That's fine. But we don't need him to return the value because they're just not going to use him crazy for 25 carries a week. They're not going to do that. I still love B. John. I still think he gives you the 30 point, 40 point upside. 30 point, 40 point. Devon Conscious says, God loves you and Jesus loves you. Be blessed. Thank you, Devon. I appreciate that. Charlene says, I put in London and Mooney this week. Yes, I saw that. Good job, Charlene. Skill says, Garrett Wilson or T. Higgins. I'm going with Garrett Wilson over T. Higgins. Anytime, Jay Bonds. He says, appreciate it, man. Siobhan says, TD, pick 2 wide receivers, 1 flex. Shaheed, Wicks, Rondale. Wait a minute. Pick 2 wide receivers and 1 flex. So, Siobhan, all those that's 3 guys. You only got 3 guys here. You said 2 wide receivers and 1 flex. So, I'm going to say Shaheed, Wicks, and Rondale. Maybe you left out somebody. Jake Beak says full PPR. Higgins, Brian Thomas Jr. Appreciate it. I'm going with Brian Thomas Jr. Siobhan says or Ayuk. Okay, I see what you're saying now. Or Ayuk. I'm going with Shaheed, Wicks, and Rondale. Oh, you only need 2. Okay. Well, Lisa says she needs 2. I'm looking for your comment, Lisa. I don't see it. Put it back in the chat. Warrior Love says, "What's up, bro? What's up, bro?" He says, "Drop Hawkinson, Jonathan Brooks, Lad McConkey, or Amari Cooper for Ramondre Stevenson." Jonathan Brooks. Drop Jonathan Brooks for Ramondre Stevenson. Percy says Garrett Wilson or Olave. I'm going with Garrett Wilson. Mason says, "Hey, what's up, Mason?" My Wi-Fi said 100. Appreciate that, bro. Siobhan says TD picked up Tua on IR. Will bench Mahomes if it continues to stagnate. Right. I understand it. Tua will be back soon. I'm not saying he's going to be better than Mahomes rest of the season, but Mahomes is not trying to hit that fantasy football top number 1 quarterback. They trying to win Super Bowls. I've told y'all this all year. Jamar says Jacksonville playing the Colts. Oh, are they playing the Colts? Right, my bad, guys. They're not playing Miami. My bad. I'm sorry about that. The Patriots are playing Miami. My bad about that, guys. Let me see. Jacksonville playing right. Yeah, actually, it's not. Don't play Jacksonville. I'm sorry about that. Thank you for reminding me that, Jamar. Do not play the Jacksonville Colts. Go ahead and play your Steelers, who's going against the Cowboys. Even though it's a bad matchup, they're gonna be good for you rest of the season, right? So just play them. Don't pick up no Jacksonville going against no coach with no Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco is gonna probably be a top 12 wide receiver. Appreciate that, Jamar. Siobhan says, go Charlene. Mooney. Yankee says Sermon or Antonio Gibson for RB2. Tomato. I think it's a tie. I think you could go with either guy. Sermon got his perks. Antonio Gibson got his perks. I think Antonio Gibson catch more passes than Sermon. So you can choose Antonio by PPR standards and go with Antonio. But I'm gonna say both guys. You make the choice. They both are even. Tomato. The professor, appreciate you, brother. He says full PPR. Fletch, Javonte Williams, Trey Sermon this week. I'm going with Trey Sermon. Even though Javonte got a nice workload last week. Warrior says, you hold on to your defense. I have the Jets. Yes, I'm holding on to them. He says 0-10, 0, no confidence, 10, super confident. How confident are you in the Jets defense versus the Vikings? A 4 or 5. I like that you did that because that gives me some type of wiggle room. I say a 4 or 5. I'm about a 4 or 5. Mike says Garrett Wilson, Higgins, or Leggett. Damn, man, keep losing my spot. I'm going with Garrett Wilson slightly over Leggett. Garrett Wilson slightly over Leggett. If you want to play Leggett, I don't think it's wrong. Yankee says Chase Brown, Braylon Gibson, or Sermon, half-point PPR, RB2. I'm going with Gibson and half-point PPR over Braylon, Chase, and Sermon. I like Chase. I like all these guys are good, but I think Gibson against Miami has a good matchup and he's going to catch passes. I'm gonna go with Gibson over Sermon and Braylon and Chase Brown. Chase Brown is close, man. Chase Brown might be the star. After this week, he have another good week. Chase Brown might be him. Nifty says Chase Brown, Trey Sermon, or Tracy. I'm going with Trey Sermon over Chase Brown and Tyrone Tracy. Full PPR, I can see you going with Chase Brown over Trey Sermon and full PPR, but in half-point PPR, I would go with Trey Sermon. Siobhan says Trey Tucker may be a good pick up wide receiver for this week for Las Vegas. Yes, I'm playing Trey Tucker. He's a must start. Jeff Jack says Fields or Deshaun Watson at Superflex. I'm going with Deshaun Watson against the Commanders defense. Fields got a nasty game that he got to play. It's in the weather. David says start Wicks or Downs and the flex full PPR. Whew. I'm going to say Wicks over Downs in this instance because Wicks has more touchdown upside than Downs. Downs going to catch more passes than Wicks in full PPR. So if you want to play that safe play for us, who's going to get more targets or catch more passes, I think Downs will catch more passes. But Wicks could go catch 5 passes and could be for 100 yards. One of them go for 50. So I'm going to say Wicks because of the touchdown upside. Siobhan says, get the likes up. Appreciate that, Siobhan. Todd says, Brandon Ayuk or Xavier Worthy this week. Let's go with a Xavier Worthy this week. Let's make Brandon Ayuk prove himself. Big Ham says 10-team lead. Drop Water to pick up Wicks. Yes. I don't want you to. I don't think you should drop Waddle, but it's a 10-team league. Waddle's gonna be out there on waivers, so I get it. If you got to drop Waddle, I understand it. But Wicks is a better play than Waddle. Charlene says, I have Murray and Daniels. I will start Daniels and bench Murray this week. Yes, nothing wrong with that. Daniels is a must start. Elisa says, standard. I already have Mason, Connell, or A-Chain, or Hubbard. Need two. Thanks, TD. Appreciate you. Anytime. I'm starting Mason and Connor. I'm starting Mason and Connor. Yankee says, Garrett Wilson or Brian Thomas Jr. Half-point PPR. Whew. I'm going to say tomato. I think both guys are great plays. I think it's very even. I would go with I'm not gonna choose. I think both guys are even. I like Garrett Wilson and I like Brian Thomas Jr. I think both guys are great starts. Whoever you choose, I think you're gonna be satisfied with. The professor says full PPR. Who do I flex? Javonte Williams or Trey Sermon this week. I'm going with. I like Javonte Williams this week. I think he's gonna get some more carries. He got like 15 carries last week. That was a good amount of work. Um, let's go with Trey Sermon, slightly over Javonte Williams. Elisa says, I need two here. Half PPR, Jacobs or Hubbard or Brian Robinson Jr. or ETN. Already have Mason started. I need two here. Half PPR, Jacobs or Hubbard or Brian already or ETN. Already have Mason started. So, like I said, Brian Robinson Jr. got a knee injury. So I'm going to say Jacobs. And if Brian Robinson Jr. is fully healthy, I'm going to say him. But if he's not fully healthy, then I'm going to go with Brian Robinson Jr. and ETN. I mean, not Brian Robinson, I'm sorry. Josh Jacobs and ETN. Josh Jacobs and ETN. Yankee says, what do you think of Seattle defense versus the Steelers? I don't like the Seattle defense either. I think they got a tough matchup. I, yeah, the Giants is not that great. Guys, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't play fantasy that way. I'm starting my Steelers. I don't play in D. I'm not gonna go and try to pick up and play matchups every week for this team. It makes sense. I see what you're doing. Giants, Daniel Jones didn't throw for a touchdown last week. No Malik Neighbors. It just kind of makes me nervous that Daniel Jones could go out and throw for 2 touchdowns and score like 17 to 21 points, and then the Seahawks defense don't really be that way. But I get it. I guess I'm gonna say Seahawks, but I don't feel good about it. I'm just gonna tell you, take my stand. My stand would be play the Steelers. But I know this is fantasy, and sometimes I do go to the waiver wire and I would stash a defense to play them with a better matchup. So I don't want to be disingenuous for what you asking. I would just play the Steelers. I don't think Seattle defense is good enough to say, oh, I know they're gonna shut down the Giants, and I know that Daniel Jones is gonna have a bad game. I just don't feel that way. Maybe I could be biased. Maybe I could be biased. I would just play my Steelers. Uh, Siobhan says, I got A-Chain holding on to him. Tyreek Water and A-Chain will all go off when Tua is back. Facts, Siobhan. Charlene says, I still have Nick Chubb on IR. Your thoughts? I think it's a great stash. You got to wait and see what's going to happen. I think you can't get a better player to stash. I think he's a great stash. He's a running back. I'm stashing all running backs. I don't turn nothing down but my collar. The professor says, thank you, anytime. Chris Vila, what's going on, Burberry? He says, Amari Cooper or Downs? I think you got to play Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper is a star. I love Downs this week, but I'm not benching Amari Cooper for Downs. I'm gonna say Amari Cooper. If you okay with benching Amari Cooper, then Downs had a great matchup. Yankee says drop Geno for Flacco for this week. No, I'm not dropping Geno. But if you're in a single quarterback league, I would play Flacco over Geno. Flacco can have a good game. He might not. Yeah, I would say Flacco, man. I love Flacco. Yeah, I would say Flacco. Geno is a good start too. That's what I don't like. I don't know, guys. Maybe y'all want me to. This is the way. I need to go and start another live and show y'all my teams, guys. I never had to bench or drop a Geno to start a Flacco. Like if I go get Flacco, usually I'm going to start. Now listen, one league I did pick up Flacco and I kept Sam Darnold, but what I did is I just stashed Sam Darnold and I'm gonna play Flacco over him. I'm not gonna drop Sam Darnold. I don't think Geno is a drop. I can't price football that way. I don't drop my guys. I'm not dropping no Geno. Now, if you're in a 10-team league, it's probably so many good quarterbacks out there, you probably have to do that. Yeah, I think you should just play Geno. You already got your quarterback. Just play Geno. He got a good matchup. He got the Giants defense is not that good. He got a good matchup. He got DK. You got all these guys is healthy. I would just play Geno. Yankee says, wait, Boswell will have a tough weather to deal with tomorrow, right? I also think Najee as my also have Najee as my RB1. What do you think? Yeah, Najee is a good RB1, especially in that type of game where it's going to be like a nasty weather game. Yes. Boswell, you might have to find another kicker. The game is going to be tough. Yes, Boswell will. Shawnee says, shh. Jalen Tobit, yes, Jalen Tobit is going to be a good pickup. I don't know how many targets he's going to get, but with no Brandon Cooks, I'm thinking they might trade for Devontae Adams. They may trade for Devontae Adams. Charlene says, Cook is on IR. Right. Yankee says, awesome job, TD, as always. Thanks for sharing your insights and being authentic. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it, Yankee. Warrior says, Seattle kicker versus the Giants or Commanders kicker versus the Browns. Who's at home? Okay. I would go with the Browns kicker. I mean, the Commanders kicker versus the Browns. I would play the Commanders kicker. I think the Commanders going to put up the most points. That's how I make a decision on kicker. I don't look to who going to see them kick the longest. I look to see who's going to be scoring the most. If they always in the green zone or the red zone, then you're going to kick more field goals. So I would say go with the Commanders kicker versus the Browns. And the Browns defense is pretty good. They might stop them from scoring so much, and they might have to kick a field goal instead of scoring a touchdown. Charlie says, good luck this week, TD. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Yankee says, yes, it's 10-team. Okay, I feel what it is. Okay, so listen. I can see. Don't drop Geno if you can help it, but if you can't, it's man. I like Joe Flacco this week. He's a start for me. Joe Flacco got a great matchup, man. Mario says C.J. Stroud, Kyron Williams, Mason, Deontay Johnson, Marvin Harrison, Kincaid, McLaughlin, Packers. What do you think about my lineup? I'm gonna give it a B. I love C.J. Stroud. I love Kyron Williams. I love Mason. I like Deontay Johnson. I like Marvin Harrison. I think Marvin Harrison is good. Dalton Kincaid is all right, man. Tight ends are struggling. Um, McLaughlin, Packers. I would give that team a B, Mario. Good team. Warrior lost to Shaheed versus the Chiefs. Deontay Johnson versus the Birds. Amari Cooper versus the Commanders. I'm gonna go with Deontay Johnson slightly over Amari Cooper, but all those guys are starters. So I'm gonna tell you right now, Shaheed, Deontay, and Amari Cooper should be starters. But between Amari Cooper being a number one wide receiver and Deontay a number one wide receiver, if you want to ask me, well, who's going to have more points? And I got you got to put $100 on it. Well, I'm gonna go with Deontay because I think Andy Dalton's going to target him a little bit more with than Amari Cooper's going to get targeted by Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson got to throw it to David Njoku, Jerome Ford, Jerry Judy. So I'm gonna go with the most concentrated targets, and that's going to be Deontay Johnson. So I'm gonna go with Deontay slightly over Amari Cooper, but you need to be starting Amari. You need Amari should never be asked if I should start him. You should never ask that. That's the way I play. If I draft a wide receiver first, second round, I don't go each week and say, well, this guy right here, Puka Nacua, had a boom game. I'm going to sit Tyreek because he outscored Tyreek. I don't play fantasy that way. That's how I see it. That's why I said Puka and Tyreek, because that's how I see it. Amari Cooper is Tyreek because he's your number one wide receiver. Now, if you got this super team and Amari Cooper is your third wide receiver, I think you need to make some trades. I don't never make fantasy be about finding the right start because these guys are going to score points when you don't know. A lot of people who win championships, we look at their teams, we're like, well, damn, who knew he was going to ball like that? Who knew he was going to ball like that? Who knew that Jordan Love was going to be balling like he did last year? So you just have to get a guy and play him, and then all of a sudden things change and you got the sauce. So I would say Deontay Johnson is probably got the best matchup, but Amari Cooper is always a start. And I believe there was Shaheed is a start too. Warrior says, I feel like Johnson gets so many targets, I got to go with him. Me too, Warrior. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. And Sir says, flex one, have PPR, Swift, Pittman, or Deontay Johnson. I'm going with Deontay Johnson. I love Pittman this week. Swift had a good game last week. He's a running back. He's a RB2 or flex play. So I'm going with Deontay Johnson. Siobhan says, hoping for the bounce back for the Hall and Jets in UK. Think Rodgers will do good. I think he'll do good. I got off breach. I think he's gonna be fine. But I got Alvin Kamara for him, so I traded him. I'm waiting on Braylon Allen, per se, for my team. Yankee says, what about Green Bay kicker versus Los Angeles Rams? I like Green Bay kicker. They're gonna score a lot of points against the Rams. That's a good kicker, Yankee. Renato says Dale or Terry. I'm going with Terry McLaurin. I love Terry McLaurin. Go trade for Terry McLaurin. Sir, a lot of these players I'm telling y'all to go trade for and go get, y'all waiting to the last minute. But I'm gonna keep telling you. I'm gonna keep it real because I understand we all got to go through different things. But I've been telling y'all a lot of people to pick up like Terry. I told y'all about Terry McLaurin for a long time. This guy about to be a top 5 wide receiver if you ask me. Unless Devontae Adams goes there or something. Sarah says Waddle, Ford, or Stevenson. I'm going to go with Ford slightly over Stevenson. But it's close. But I'm going to go with Ford slightly over Stevenson. Warrior says, thanks. I like your breakdown. When it comes to serious decisions, got to be serious. Right. Kyle Smedley says, trade CD and Allen for Marv and Devontae Smith. No. Keep CD and Allen. Marv is going to be good. Devontae Smith is good. Half point 16 team league. I'm holding on to CD and Allen. All right, guys. Well, look, I'm gonna get out of here. I'll be going live tomorrow morning at 10:30. So, guys, be ready. I'm gonna try to go live for about an hour and 30 minutes. I don't want to go live too long. And who knows? I might wake up in the middle of the night tonight and do a live. I don't know. It just depends on guys. It depends on what I got going on. Anytime, Sir Smacktastic. Sir Smacktastic. Sir Smacktastic. I know. Yes, anytime, Aram. Appreciate it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Guys, I know my content is different, but I'm reinventing the wheel. A lot of people, what's up, Conscious? A lot of people don't like the way I do content. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I say it because it's my content. Y'all watch all the other contents. They talk about what people say this and this and this. That's just part of the process. It's not like, oh my God, I'm scared. These people are against me and they trolling me. I don't give a damn. But I do know that people don't like the way I do my content. They like, what? He didn't, what? Well, he didn't give any stats. And then I hit, they just, you're lucky. You're lucky. He ain't smart. He's lucky. He just going down. He just looking at it. I always got something to try to tell me and be better than me. And that's fine. I like the competition. But when I wipe the floor, I need you to respect the shine on the floor. Because I know I do content different. So when I'm hitting, that's why my hit and miss ratio is very big to me. And I talk about that a lot. Because I'm not going to do what all the other channels are doing. Right? It's not that it's bad what they doing. It's just I want to be able to come here and be free and do it the way that I know that I'm good at doing fantasy football, the way I play, the way I win championships, right? If I didn't win championships, I wouldn't be telling y'all. I'd be like, guys, let's come to here. Please, like, let's help each other. I messed up big. Like, I would not be trying to cap like I know anything because I'm not acting like I know anything. The things that I talk about is shit that I know I've been really good on it for years, right? That's why I do that. I'm not trying to advise nobody about anything just because I got a channel and I want to come over here and make voices and try to be cute. I don't do. This is who I am. This is who I am as a person. So, I just want y'all to be able to get used to the content. I'm always going to be able to pull out my phone and do content on the fly. I think that's cool. I think that's me. That's how I like to do all this, like, just editing the videos, sitting down, editing videos. That's why sometimes I know y'all want the video breakdown. I don't do a live. I'm like, man, they want a video today. I don't have time to sit around and to do the video, to edit it, to move it to the different platforms. So I just want y'all to understand what I'm up against. Yeah, tomorrow, 10:30 in the morning. Make sure you're here. Be there or be square. Real quick, guys, I'm gonna go through some of these not super chats, but comments through the members. Good job, Conscious Machine with no kicker. Tron says, I'm always locked into fantasy good sports. I know you is, Tron. Conscious says, love Gibbs, Walker, Mason, Collins, Harrison, Kittle. Good job. Warrior says, I love the content. No bullshit or beating around the bush. No wishful thinking. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. That makes me have energy to keep doing it the way that I'm doing it. Now, listen, I know it's not about the energy, but it's like, TD, you can do it your way, and people appreciate the way you perceive it, the way you want to give out the fantasy football knowledge. Like, I don't want to come over here and do like a bunch of videos for 30 minutes and got to edit that and make it sound like this. That's not me. I like to come and chop it up with y'all and then come to the top of the dome. That's how it's like barbershop talk. Same thing like Dion. Dion ain't like the rest of the coaches. Dion ain't got to come to and talk about, hey, we ran a whip route and we did this. He know corners. He's an expert at that. He knows football to a certain extent, but he got offensive coordinators, but he's still a great coach. He's still a great coach because he got personality. Everybody got their strengths and weaknesses, and that's what it's about. That's what it's about. Country Machine says, yes, Charlie says, march to your own beat, not someone else's. Thanks. Yes, Charlene. Ethan says, Jawan Jennings, Jordan Addison, or Tyrone Tracy in the flex. I'm going with Jordan Addison. Conscious says, love or Fields. I'm going with love over Fields. Todd says, level out. I gatekeep. I love your content. Keep the tough skin. You right, bro. Right. Conscious says Sutton, Justice, Whittington. I'm going with Sutton over Justice, Hill, and Whittington. And Chandler says trade Stroud for Geno and ETN PPR. I also have Purdy. No, ride it out with you got good quarterbacks. Trade Stroud for Geno and ETN. You get ETN and Geno. Trade Stroud for Geno and ETN. I think go better than ETN. Go better than ETN. I tell you, yeah. Other than that, I think you should now just keep Stroud. Man, gonna play good this week. He was the top quarter. Was he the top quarterback last week? I think you got to keep playing Stroud. I wouldn't trade Stroud. Now, if I was getting instead of ETN, I was getting Alvin Kamara or something like that. Jahmyr Gibbs, yeah, I would do it. But I'm not giving up Stroud, the #1 quarterback possibly on any week for ETN. Not saying ETN bad, but I think you can get more. Tron says, I saw one YouTube fantasy channel today, and the guy smokes a bomb while giving fantasy advice. Yeah, I know what channel you talk about, man, and I don't know if it's the same guy, but I know some guys that did that, and they was cool. I respect their channel. We not really on the best terms, but I still give them respect. I would never disrespect, even though they disrespected me. But anyway, I don't care. We used to work together. And guys, I'm gonna tell you something. Guys can smoke and drink and still give you good content. So I'm not gonna put that down. But this also is professional. If you giving me money, I'm not gonna be drinking. I don't go to work. When I'm getting paid, I don't drink. I could actually go to work and I could drink at my job. I'm not gonna talk about a lot about that, but I could, but I'm not doing it. I'm making money. So you gotta carry yourself as a professional if people are paying you money to answer questions. So that's how I see it. Charlene says, I'm a fan of yours, TD. Yes, you are. Even though you chastise me and get on me, you want me to get better, and I actually respect that. I actually respect that. All right, guys, will y'all be safe? I see y'all tomorrow. Peace.